mandingo, as they call it, or whatever. You know what I mean? So some stupid thing, stupid, antiquated belief about black men all being these aggressive, hypersexual beings. So anyway, I think it's sad, but it is what it is. Speaking of anatomy, though, there is. Do you know who Armie Hammer is or not? The actor.
It's the name sounds familiar.
Well, anyway, he's a really good looking actor. I think he's very attractive. Anyway, he's like 30 years old. But anyway, he isn't going to be in this movie that's coming up, which I want to see really badly, and it's called Call Me by Your Name. And it's based on a memoir by this guy who was 17 years old, and he was in Europe or something visiting with his family, and he met this guy who was like 30 years old, and they had this huge love affair. Anyway, so in the thing, it takes place in the 80s, in the early 80s. And so, in the early 80s, they had these like short shorts, those kind of like really short shorts, tight shorts.
Like those basketball shorts
yes.
before they redid. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were kind of real tight and everything. Like, you kind of see everything. Anyway, so Armie Hammer was filming this movie, and he had these shorts on most of the movie in this film and wearing them every day. And his junk was so big, it was hanging out. So they didn't realize it till post-production, most of it. And so they had to go back in post-production.
How come you don't?
No, listen to me. Listen, I'm not finished. Listen, they had to go back in post-production, and they had to actually remove his balls from digitally because they were hanging out of his junk. And his junk was really there, right, almost hanging out too. So yeah. Anyway, I just thought
hangers.
I would love to see Armie Hammer's junk because I think he's gorgeous, but that's just me. But anyway, this is a movie I want to see really badly. Another movie I want to see, it's coming out, another gay GLBT movie, is called Tom of Finland, which is releasing this week. I actually got tickets for it on Saturday at the Angelica Theater in Dallas. And it was released in New York and LA about a month ago, and now it's released everywhere. And I don't know if you know who Tom of Finland is. Do you know who that is?
No clue.
Okay. Well, Tom of Finland, you people from your generation, my God, you've got to learn your gay history. For God's sakes, learn your fucking gay history. What do y'all do all day? Anyway.
Work.
So do I, but I still know my gay history. He was a guy, his name was Touko Laaksonen or whatever. He was Finnish, whatever. And he came back from World War II, whatever, in Finland, and there was all this anti-homophobia, anti-gay people stuff, whatever going on. Anyway, so most people were just kind of shrinking away from it, but instead he was an artist, and he actually made all these homoerotic drawings of muscular men and leather and these hats and these glasses and stuff. So basically, if you think about leather, you think about the iconic view of a man in leather. It came from his vision from that time. And so, if you see the pictures, you'll know what Tom of Finland is. You just don't know what the name is. Anyway, this movie comes out this weekend, and it's about his life and how he was kind of a gay pioneer. So those of you interested in gay history, go check out Tom of Finland. There are probably lots of hot guys in it. And, maybe you'll pick up a date there too. So there you go. Anyway, let's talk about the man's people. We talked about this last week. I might talk about that again because even though people didn't hear it, let's talk about this instead. A man was attacked by court officers for trying to pay a parking ticket.
Yes. So there was a man in Michigan who received a $10 parking ticket. And so he was going to pay, and they added a $1.75 surcharge to be paid by a debit or credit card. Which I really never understand. It's like, yeah, you charge a fee for paying by debit or credit card, but what does that actually go to? That's what I want to know.
What do you mean? Where does it go? It goes to the bank.
I mean, $1.75 I want to complain about, but I've been in some places where they charge $6, $7, $8, $9. I'm like, come on now, seriously.
Did you what?
Not the pay something by debit or credit card.
It's based
at a courthouse or.
Oh, you mean okay? Well, I take credit cards in my business, and it's a percentage of whatever it is you use. It depends on the credit card carrier.
I mean, do you charge a separate fee on top of what they're paying?
No, I don't. But some people do that.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. But a lot of courthouses, a lot of government,
you're right,
places do that.
They do that.
$1.75 wouldn't have been that big of a deal to me. But when I paid my parking ticket like 2 years ago. Yeah. If I pay by card, they wanted $6. I'm like, really? Is it $6? Is this entire $6 really going to them, or is like a small portion going to them for the fee, and the rest of it going in your pocket?
They should only charge enough to cover the fee if they're going to do that.
$6 is outrageous.
Well, it is what it is.
But anyway, back to the story. So He wasn't happy with the fact that they would charge him $1.75 processing fee, if you pay by debit or credit card. So he left.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I'm laughing. I shouldn't be laughing, but he left. He went and I guess went and got change or whatever case, or went to an ATM or whatever, went to the bank or whatever. Anyway, long story short, he came back with $10 in pennies. Okay.
Okay.
And when he got there, the court clerk and the court clerk and the cashier, I guess they weren't too happy that he came back with it. And so when he tried to pay, they refused. And then when he tried to leave, the court clerk, the court officer, like tackled him to the ground.
Wow.
And I'm like, wait a minute. But here's the thing. Here's the problem that I have with this. Since when do you not take pennies as payment? Pennies is a legal cash tender. You may not want to count all of them bitches, but if he comes in there with $10 worth of pennies, you have to take. What is the thing that people don't want to take pennies? That I've been to restaurants and they're like, we don't want the pennies. Bitch, it's fucking money.
I don't know, but
I don't like. How did they even start? Like I've been to businesses, I've been to stores, and they're like, I can hand over like trying to just take excess change out of my pocket. I was like, let me go and give you this because I have like all this change in my pocket. We don't want the pennies. Why is the pennies getting so much fucking shade? I don't get that. It's legal. It's a legal fucking tender. It's money.
right.
So,
I know.
I don't understand how all these places be like, well, we don't want that. Okay, well then, bitch, you ain't getting paid. I'm sorry. That's the thing with me. If that would have been me, I would. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. Yes, he was being pompous and he was just being, a smart ass for doing that. But if you come back with $10 in pennies, to the cashier behind the counter, I'm sorry you feel that way, but at the end of the day, bitch, that's fucking money. You should have taken it.
It's not illegal for him to do that, and
Exactly.
I can't imagine them actually being able to hold him or arrest him for paying with pennies because that's not illegal. So if they detained him for paying with pennies, then that he has a case. He could actually sue the shit out of them.
Oh, he actually has a case pending. He's suing the city.
Good.
He should. And he's suing the 2 court officers. They actually arrested him and charged him with like assault on a police officer or something. But it was on video camera. It was in a courthouse, and they have cameras all over the fucking place. They actually jumped on him. He was trying to leave.
Yeah.
So I hope you win and get your money because they were wrong for doing that. And that fucking bitch should have counted those $10 in pennies.
That's the kind of place we live in now. That's the kind of place we live in.
But that just pisses me off. I'm just mad that we don't take pennies. We don't take pennies. Okay, well then, bitch, you ain't getting paid. Simple as that. Either you take these $10 in pennies, and then oh, here's another thing. Let's just say you come back with $10 in pennies, and then that's all you had, and you refuse it. Do you add on additional fees, even though I initially tried to pay and you didn't want to take the money?
But better not. It's illegal. They're not going to get away with it, so they have nothing to stand on, no leg to stand on. So
it's like people make me sick like that. But anyway, I just wanted to share that. Go ahead, we can move
on. Well, there was you knew Bette Midler is, right? I forgot to mention this earlier. Well, I never know.
I love me some Bette Midler.
Well, I never know. So I forgot to mention this earlier when we're talking about all the allegations against men. But Bette Midler was saying that Geraldo Rivera in the 70s actually pushed her into a closet and forced poppers under her nose and started fondling her and groping her and all over the place and stuff like that. And she had to pull herself off of him pull herself away from him behind whatever. Anyway, so out of that and get out of the closet. But she told this to Barbara Walters in 1991 in an interview. She told her in an interview I watched online, you can see it, that this happened. And Barbara said, well, let's move on. So obviously, that is the kind of climate that women were in, even in 1991, where when you have an allegation like that, people just ignore it, or because it's too dangerous, or it's not a big deal, they thought. But now people are like, wow, that's fucking horrible. I just thought it was sad that someone like Barbara Walters would just gloss over it and not even deal with it. But
So has anyone from Rivera's camp spoken out about this?
no, she just said this today. I mean, she actually in the interview, it's like I said it before 1991, but she actually just reiterated it today publicly, and so I don't know. But anyway, I just thought it was sad.
But no, I mean, I would think that even, I mean, because I mean, this is all over the internet now. So I mean,
Yeah.
if she came out with this statement, I would think that his PR people would already issue the statement by now.
Well, I would too, but I don't know if that's happened or not. So.
Oh, okay.
So
well, Geraldo, you better come out with your statement because everybody's looking at you now. You're unlucky contestant number 3.
Yeah, but he did come out with a statement. I remember.
Oh, he did.
And it wasn't.
Okay,
it wasn't about that. It was before she came out and said that because this is what prompted her to say it. He said about Matt Lauer. Matt Lauer was a great guy. We've known him forever. He's been a part of our family. Blah blah blah, and said. This is what needs to happen. There should be a statute of limitations on these kind of things where women can't come back after 5 years and complain about this and that. But I mean, some horrible shit like that. He was going on and on about.
It sounds like he's victim shaming.
He is pretty much. So I mean, that's what he said. So it kind of shows you his character. He's a fucking asshole.
But here's my thing, though. At one point when I was younger, I used to think the same thing. I was like, why would you wait so long to come out and say something like that? But when you're in that type of industry, especially because I always hear that people in the industry have like an unreal amount of power and
well, it depends on who you are, but you can, yeah.
Right. And there are some powerful people in the industry, and sometimes people are afraid to come forward. Mainly, it could be because of that. It could be because if they feel like if they do say something, they're either going to get blackballed or they're going to be pretty much kicked out of Hollywood, never get hired again.
Right.
Or it could be a combination of a lot of things, or they may feel like they may get shamed by the public, anything. So, I mean, it's a lot of reasons why people stay quiet about it, because they want their career to keep going. They just suck it up and keep going. But now, with, National Expose a Perv Month, because that's what this month has been, it seems like, everyone's coming out. November is going to be the month of this, I'm telling you. But everyone's coming out now. And normally when one person comes out, several come out at once.
That's right.
That's just how it is.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. A few more topics we got here. Let's talk about the top 20 songs of 2017. What did you find out about that? What's that about?
So my computer keeps going to sleep. I don't know why it keeps doing this. It must be a setting that I messed up or something. Hold on. It's back up.
Okay.
So sorry, I'm trying to find it. I must have clicked out of it. Sorry, people. Going to talk about something else. We'll come back to it. I gotta pull it up again.
Okay. What else do I have on here? Let's talk about.
Oh, what'd you do for Thanksgiving? We talk about Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. I told you what I was doing for Thanksgiving. I had family, friends over, cooked. What we have? We had turkey, mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, green bean casserole, pecan pie, pumpkin pie, cake, brownies. I don't know. We had everything. Dressed stuffing and all that shit. Bread, rolls. Wine. I mean, so we had all the good stuff, and we ate and we talked. We played. We actually didn't play games. We usually do, but they didn't this year. We just hung out and talked for a few hours and listened to music and stuff, and that's it. What about you?
That sounds great because, ladies and gentlemen, I was not invited.
I told you why you weren't invited.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I didn't come the past 2 years. The first year you invited me, I did not know you that well, so I was like, it was new and everything. So I was like, I'm not gonna do that. Last year, I was sick. I was laid up in my bed sick on Thanksgiving Day because I had just left the fucking what is it, the local ER or whatever, the not the clinic, but like the little minor medical emergency place. And I was like in my bed on Thanksgiving last year, so that's why I didn't come last year, because I was like, the last thing I want to do was go to his house and then throw up on his fabulous floor. So
yeah, but you didn't tell me last year. You didn't tell me you were coming.
Because I was sick. I was in bed vomiting all over the place.
You could have sent a text to tell me you weren't coming. I was expecting you. So
because my sister was like, not my sister, my mom was like, what are you doing for, she called me, she's like, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? I'm like, I'm laid up in the bed, dozing in and out of consciousness, trying to watch TV, but I'm getting up like every few hours to throw up. I ended up getting some type of stomach virus, and it was because when I had got it, because 2 weeks prior to that, when I was traveling with my then job, they sent me down to South Carolina, and I had eaten at this restaurant, and I think it got sick. Like I was having like stomach issues right before I left to come back home.
Yeah.
But then it gradually got worse, and I was like, oh, if I'll just drink some Gatorade or something that has some electrolytes, it'll go away. It never went away. It actually gradually got worse over the 2 weeks to the point I had to go to the minor medical place or whatever. And they were just like, yeah, it looks like you have a little bit of a stomach virus, so that's why you have been having issues keeping food down. I was like, okay. He was like, you're severe.